Hi, Jamie here, and this is the place for coaches, creators, and entrepreneurs that want to grow their business through live events like retreats. Today's video, we're going to talk about taxes, and this should be so timely since this, is tax season. I haven't done my taxes yet. In today's video, we're going to work from the perspective of the event host, which should be you, or which expenses are deductible for you, and some caveats around some of the tax benefits and deductions that you should know about. Full disclosure, I'm not a tax anything. I do not have the certifications. I am not a CPA, a professional to do your taxes. It's totally worth the money. First up is going to be the event costs. Now, this category actually has varied through the different resources, but I can tell you that any of your money that you put into this event is considered a business expense and you can deduct up to a certain amount. That being said, things like your travel expenses, hotel expenses, and meals are all deductible up to a certain point. So between the different types of retreats you could have, if this retreat is solely for your employees, say everyone works remote and you want to bring everyone together in one spot to do some leadership building, some team building, scaling out your business for the next year, things like that. I know Jenna Kutcher does one for her employees as an example. That is 100% deductible because it's for your employees and it directly benefits your business. Okay, so next up would be meals and travel. This is kind of a tricky one because if you tack on any kind of personal vacation or personal time onto your business travel, you have to portion it out. So how do you get the entire travel expenses deducted? And the answer is the amount of time outside not spent on conferences. If it's greater than 7 days, then you have to proportion that amount of time to personal and then the 7 days for business to the conference. So when you're traveling to your own retreat, there are two different kinds of costs. You have business day costs and the travel expenses. So if you pay directly for any of the event expenses, they can be deductible. The next expense that could be related to your event that's deductible would be maybe the cost for the landing page, registration, Dubsado, any of the software that is needed and necessary in order to host this event. If you're hosting a virtual retreat, that could be the virtual event platform like GoToMeeting or Zoom or whatever that could be included as a tax deductible expense. Another expense would be labor. You pay for your VA to be there, if you pay for a retreat planner to be there, if you pay for a caterer or any other vendor that could touch this event, that can be tax deductible. Now this one is really specific to what kind of labor it is. If it's a VA that's like a 1099 employee, then that would be a direct employee expense. However, if it's a retreat planner that it's just a signed contract and they're performing a service, that could be included as an event expense. So there could be a little different depending on how you classify the labor. Talk about your travel expenses and your meal expenses as the event host. So obviously you're gonna have to pay to travel to get to your retreat. More than likely your retreat, your travel expenses are deductible. So like your flight, your parking fees to park your car at the airport, a taxi fee, also deductible. There are some limitations and some ceilings on how much you can actually deduct as a business expense under the meals and entertainment section of the tax code, but up to 50% is deductible for your retreat, for your meals, for your retreat. Lodging is 100% deductible for the time that you are actually at your retreat for business purposes. Next up is advertising. Maybe you advertise your retreat on Facebook ads or Google ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, or any kind of paid ad source. Any of those costs are deductible for your business and for your retreat. However, if you're going to host a high ticket intimate retreat, I always recommend targeting your already current clients or warm leads first before you try to go to the wide source Facebook ad, because it's just it's gonna be a lot to get people to sign on to a high ticket retreat. As always, keep as detailed receipts as possible to make sure that you can provide to the CPA and for 7 years after your taxes are filed. It's always a good idea. If you have a scanner, make sure you scan them so you have an electronic version as well as a paper version, and make sure to keep everything organized. I hope these tips have helped you decide on how you can expense your retreat, and I hope it persuades you to actually plan a retreat for your business, because there's so many tax opportunities that could benefit your bottom line.